Now, do you ever see Star Wars movies where the evil master needs a disciple? Okay? Anybody with a lot of knowledge needs someone to give it to. It's how I learn. I learn by teaching, meaning that you're going to ask me a question that I don't know, and I will get in my head all of a sudden the answer, and I will learn. So I enjoy it. And if you learn, good. And if I can make your life better, good. But it's just, anyone with knowledge needs to share it. It's like a great musician needs to write music. A painter needs to paint. It doesn't matter if no one buys it. When you have a great skill, you need to express it, give it out. So I have knowledge of this world, and I just like to talk. It makes me feel better.
But is it like you said, time is money? Is it worth your time?
But that's why I'm saying I don't need any money.
Yeah.
So I've got all the free time for the rest of my life. My time is free. I don't need anything. So it's worth it because it gives me pleasure to talk. And if I get a really serious student who realizes this isn't just about business or money, this is spiritual development, this is something far beyond just material things, and they want to learn more, that's the most interesting thing to me. So I teach what people want to hear, money, entrepreneur, and then once in a while I get somebody who says, there's something more I want to learn. So that's why I do it. Yeah, because I don't need anything. So what am I going to do? Sit home all day and do exercise?
But you could have done something else, like, for example, I don't know, if you like golfing, you would have.
Yeah, I go hiking. I go swimming, I exercise. Yeah, I do everything. But what is this, a couple of hours a week?
Yeah.
A couple hours a week, yeah. But I do everything I want. Yeah. So, and this is, like I say, for me, it's like a food, in a sense. When I teach, I learn more. One of my first teachers, Tai Chi teacher, he said the teacher learns the most, all right? So when I teach, I learn, but I like to talk. Otherwise, I'm always alone, aside from being with Van, and when she's not here, I'm completely alone. So this gives me a social interaction with humans. Yeah.
Because at first I was really skeptical, like, why would someone who has a lot of money want to do a course to teach others how to make money? But something in my mind, like, I wanted to know, like, why you wanted to do it, like,
Yeah.
it's your time, you're making time to do it. You could be
Yeah.
doing something else, like, you could be sleeping right now, you could be,
Yeah.
I don't know, doing something else.
That's right. But money isn't important. I mean, I don't make much money here for this, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's for that. You get to a point where I have achieved everything I want in this world. I had my own airplane. I've traveled now almost 100 countries. I've done everything I want. Now, and for many years, I've been teaching for over 30 years. Like I say, I learn when I teach, and I enjoy the interaction. And it's nice if I can help you have a better life, good. Maybe you'll give me $1 million like someone else did. One of my other students gave me $1 million. Yeah.
maybe money I give you.
He made a lot of money. He started with $10,000 in debts. He had no home, no car, no nothing. And he made so much. So yeah, maybe you'll become so rich and you'll give me another $1 million, or a house, or 2 houses, or whatever it is. Yeah. Or another airplane. Yeah. So, but that's not, I mean, that'd be nice, but it's not the point. The point is, this is what I enjoy doing. All right? So let's get started. I think 25 minutes is patient enough for them with the rain.
Can you just reduce the AC?
No, this one. Do you see it? Is it there? We can do it if we have the controller. There she is. Okay. All right. So, okay. Started recording? Yes. It's recording. I mean, it started. Yeah? Okay, good. All right, welcome, lesson 4. All right, halfway through. So you had your business ideas. We discussed a little bit on before and on the chat, but do you have any more questions, or is it pretty clear my answers to you about your business ideas?
Just regarding the investment, like for me, my situation is like that. I have my salary, that's my source of income right now, and there's a part of it which is already allocated to a loan. It's for my car. So that's why I'm a little skeptical to take another loan to start a business. So I would need to, that's why I'm looking for a smaller thing first, so that I can maybe gather a little money at least, then start it.
Okay.
So I was looking for a smaller size, like selling soap.
Okay. If I make an investment that pays 5%, okay? 5% profit, and I invest $10,000, how much do I make? $500, okay? That's not much. If I invest $100,000, I make $5,000, right? Okay. So the bigger it is, the more money you make. First rule. So if you stay small, the income is so small, it can never accumulate to something significant. First rule. Second rule, I trade in the stock market, okay? Yesterday I bought some shares. These shares pay a dividend. The dividend is about 8.5%. But I've used all my cash. So to buy more shares, I have to borrow money from the stockbroker. And I'm paying that stockbroker about 7.5% interest. So that means I bought shares that will give me a profit of 1% without investing any of my own money. So that's pure profit, okay? So if you want to make more profit, your investment must be bigger, and if the cost of the borrowing money is less than the profits you make, it just means you make that much less profit until you pay off the loan. But at least you're growing, you're getting somewhere, okay? My first store was 1 Hour Photo Stores. I have to buy a machine. It cost me $160,000, $140,000 to build the business. I borrowed $100,000. For the first 5 years, I didn't make as much profit because I'm paying interest on the loan. Actually, I paid it off much quicker. It was a 5-year loan, but I paid it in 3. So for the first 3 years, a lot of my profit went to pay the interest. But from the 4th year onward, I had massive profit because what I paid in interest now went into my pocket, okay? So it makes sense. If the business can earn much more than the cost of the interest, then it's worth it to borrow more because you'll make more money. Pay off the loan as quickly as possible, and then all of a sudden you're in a huge thing. So that's how I had extra money to open a second store and a third store and so on, okay? So using other people's money is the way businesses work. Look at Apple. Apple is how many, $2-3 trillion business, but they still borrow money. They do it via bonds. They issue bonds. A bond is basically, if I am the company, I issue a bond, you buy the bond, and I pay you interest on the bond. So a bond is a loan. You're lending me money.
Capital, right?
I'm sorry?
It's like the share capital.
Well, no, share capital is different than a bond. A bond is a fixed amount of money. It doesn't fluctuate in value. And you buy, let's say, $1 million bond. So I get the $1 million. I pay you 5% interest. And then whatever date we said the bond is due, I give you back the $1 million. So it's a loan. Now, if companies as profitable as Apple or Boeing or any of these major companies borrow money to have working capital, not share capital, that's working capital, it's a viable business model. So you just have to make sure that you're able to pay back the loan, so your profits are not just the interest, but enough to pay back the capital amount, and then you get into something bigger and Yeah.
But at first, like when I'm taking the loan, there will be the payment of the first few months.
Yeah.
Do I need to have a separate amount of money to be able to, in case I'm not making enough money in the business?
Yeah. So if you need 50,000, you borrow 80. And then you have extra capital to cover any shortfall of your expenses until you're making enough that you can cover it. Yeah. All right. So, clear on your ideas? They're all nice, but too small. They're very small-minded. All right? You're not going to get anywhere. So rethink bigger. And in that bigger idea, figure out how you're going to get the money, which means private investors or banks, or how, and then what's the interest cost or the share you're going to pay them, and put that into your calculations. All right? Okay, yeah.
A question about the stock market.
Yeah.
How do you pick the company to invest?
Okay. To pick a company to invest in the stock market, you have to determine what type of trading you want to do. Do you want to do in and out fast trades, like I buy and I sell in minutes or in the same day? Or do you want to hold it for a month, 2 months, or you want to hold it for many years? So you have to know what type of trading you want to do. Then you narrow it down to the type of company that is suitable to that type of investing. So what I bought yesterday was NatWest Banks. It's one of the biggest banks in the UK, owned 40% by the UK government. There's no way they're going bankrupt. Their share price went down by, God, 15% yesterday. So it's terrible. But there's no way they're going to go bankrupt. And they pay an 8% dividend. So that's why I bought it on the broker's money. So I bought those shares because that share, I can wait 2 years. And from $4.50, I know it'll go back over $7, because that's where it goes sometimes, $7, $8. But maybe it'll take 1 or 2 years. So I have the time for that investment. So I chose very safe. It will not go bankrupt. And I may have to wait 1 year, 2 years for the profit. Other trades I do where I just want some cash. I want to make a cash profit today. I trade Tesla. Tesla goes up and down like crazy. So I buy Tesla. I did one trade, I timed it, was 7 minutes, and I made $867 US in 7 minutes. Okay? So if I want to do cash flow, make money right away, quick trades, you pick a company that has a big volatility, big movement. So you see, it depends what kind of investing you want to do. Then you have to choose the right company suitable to that style of trading. Yeah. And then you have to see the market. Mauritian market, I think it's very small. So it's harder to trade in the Mauritian market. Like New Zealand, I wouldn't invest in New Zealand stock market. It's too small. The price movement is very, very small. So I only trade US market because I understand it and there's big movement. So these are the things you have to think about. Mind you, the NatWest Bank is UK, you know. So it depends on what you're looking for. Okay.
So you research, you don't ask the stockbroker.
No, I never trust anyone. Never trust anyone who will profit from your loss. The broker makes money whether you win or lose because they get a commission on the sale. And it doesn't matter if you've profited or lost. So never trust them. Every time I did, I lost money. So I've learned never trust them. Yeah. And the thing is that if he's so smart, why is he working as a broker? Think about that. If you're, like you said, if you're so smart, why are you teaching for this little rupees? Why are you wasting your time? What is it that the person will gain? All right? So why is it the broker needs a job as a broker to make money? It's because he doesn't really know how to invest that well. He's not that perfect. Okay? I teach because I don't need the money, so I can do it for this little few rupees, and I gain emotional value by teaching. I gain more knowledge. So that's what you have to think. What does the person have to gain from doing whatever they do for you? All right? And then you know if you should trust them or not. And is it right for that person to have to be advising me to make money when he makes money on me buying and selling, or buying and selling what he's selling? So, yeah, I don't trust others. Never trust anyone, no matter who they are. And remember that in business, right? Everybody's out to cheat you. In business, they just want to take your money. So if you're just doing strict business with somebody, you have to always have the attitude that their goal is to take your money. So you must always have some doubt when you're dealing with somebody. Never trust anyone completely. For two reasons. Either they want to cheat you and they are lying, or secondly, they believe what they're saying, but someone lied to them, or they're simply wrong. So yeah, you've got to learn to make your own decisions. All right, yeah.
Regarding the loan,
Yeah.
the repayment period should be like 25 years or
Oh,
shorter?
depends what it is. But the sooner you pay it off, the more money you make, right? So, you made it. Good. Okay. All right. So the period of the loan is dependent on the investment. If you're buying a property, normally it's 25 years because a house is going to be there, right?
The restaurant.
In a restaurant or a business should be 3 to 5 years. But the thing about a loan is, you remember how we did the amortizing about your income, right? You have to think, is the loan amortized where you have a capital amount of payment every month? Or is it, I pay the whole thing at the end of the term? So then you know what your monthly payments are. If you have to pay capital every month, you want a longer term so the capital payment is smaller. And then you just make sure you can top up, like you can make lump sum payments at any time. So you can pay it off quicker if you want to. Yeah. All right. And yeah, and as far as your business, you just need more experience. Work for a different, get part-time. You have a job, right? Yeah, okay. So get part-time jobs in different businesses. Do something for 3 months part-time, and then change it to something else 3 months part-time. So you learn. Now, why could I open the stones and mineral business without any experience? Because it's a retail store. And I had experience with retail stores in my Photoshops. So the principle of retail, I understood. The product doesn't matter. Okay, so if you get experience working part-time jobs for 3 months at different types of businesses, you learn about business. You learn how to find a location, how to buy stock, how to handle inventory, how to deal with customers. And the product is irrelevant. Okay? So you need that kind of experience, varied experience, so that you can run your business better.
I work at a management company, and to be honest, when I look at the balance sheets of big companies, real estate, private equity, most of them are at a loss. And I find that very, how are they still making the business go? How are they still paying the employees? How are they still paying the loan? But they are still lost. I don't understand how they do it.
But that's a good question, and you need to find the answer.
Yeah.
Do you know what chlorophyll is?
Yeah.
Okay, the green stuff in plants. You know how that was discovered? It was a French boy. He was a young boy, and he asked his mother, "Mommy, why are plants green?" And she said, "I don't know. Go find out." And so he became a scientist and discovered chlorophyll. So you want to know how they survive losing money? Go figure it out. Don't just say, "Oh, how can they do it?" No, answer it. Go be a scientist or a forensic accountant and figure it out. Right? So one thing is pre-tax profit, after-tax profit. I sold a business at a loss and I made money. How? Because the loss on the books gave me a tax write-off that I applied to another income from another business that reduced my taxes so much that it made the paper loss less than the tax savings. So by combining all my companies, I made money by losing money. You see, a loss here made an extra gain there, balance the two, ends up in a profit. So you've got to look for that. Okay, are you two good? No more questions? Okay, so Andrea, nice you sent me a business plan, but what's the business? You didn't say what the business is.
It's creating websites for companies.
Okay, yeah, that usually should go at the top of a business idea. Like, what is the business?
I thought we were only focusing on the figures.
Okay, anyway, I'm teasing you a little bit, but yeah, I'm reading it. Okay, looks good, but what's the business? Do you mind if I put it on the screen? Okay, you don't want me to show it to others? The numbers?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's good. Quite frankly, he just wrote on pen and paper, which is not professional. His was good also, but I don't have it. But yours is the most accurately done one, so we can use that, okay? So perfect, 750 is like, you mean corporate, to set up a company?
Small private company.
Yeah, but I mean the legal fees of setting up a company, right? Okay, good. So you set it up, tax on income, 3,000 per month, based on what the income you were saying here?
20,000.
Okay, so you've got salary, perfect. 13 months, why? You give a 1 month bonus? Okay, all right. That's what I figured. It's like Japan. You get 13 months. All right. Tool. What is the tool? Computers or?
That's the platform.
Okay. And the device, that's your computers, right? Okay. So your cost, 280 and all this, so 262. So you've got your total capital that you're risking, 267. Good. Your potential revenue, 5,000 a week. And you figured that's going to cost you 15,000, right? But there's not 4 weeks in a month. There's 4.5 weeks. Okay? When you do a plan, a financial plan, make sure it's accurate. Because in this case, you know, does it go in your favor or against you? All right? So it should be 4.5 weeks. All right, so that either, if it's 20,000 a month, you have to reduce your per week, okay? But I want to pick any little fault so you learn, be very accurate. Okay, so then you've got a profit of 60,000 per year, 60,000 on your total cost of 267, right? Okay, so that's gonna take you 60, 26, 4.5 years. So in 4.5 years, you've paid back all your money, right? That's reasonable, I think. 4.5 years is a payback, okay? That's 25%. So that's pretty reasonable, that's a good deal. So you think 14 customers a year, you can get that. All right, so you've determined that your rate of return is 25% of your total cost. That if you go bankrupt and you lose everything, is this the whole sheet or was there more?
It continues at the bottom.
There's more, isn't there? Yeah, that's what I thought there was more. Okay? All right. So you've got, if you get half the customers, it's 127, which would be 12.5%, right? That's reasonable. So cost of loss, 3,000. What was that?
It's just 127 in dollars.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay, so in dollars instead of rupees. All right. So it's obviously worth the risk. Now, what else you have to add into determining if you give up in 1 year is that you have bought equipment, hardware, and that still has a value. So if you sell it for, I don't know, half the value, whatever the value is, that effectively means you have a zero risk. Because your equipment, well, I don't know whatever the number will be, but it certainly reduces your risk because you'll have an asset you can resell, right? So we can add that and even reduce the risk amount, so that gives you a lot more confidence, right? Now remember, emotions, confidence that you will succeed is extremely important, because that confidence transmits to the client having confidence in you. All right? So it's a good analysis. So now I want to know, why are you not doing it?
Because it's a matter of engaging with the business, so I just thought about it.
Okay. So this was an exercise for the class. Okay. But do you like the business? Would you like to do that? Or it's just you had to pick?
It's a service that I would like companies to have in Mauritius. So that, like, for example, whenever I'm looking for business products, I have to go into their catalogs, and it's not something that I would prefer a better service from each business. That's why I think that would be interesting.
I'm trying to buy an air conditioner now. I can't believe how hard it is to find somebody on the internet. I'm like one or two companies. It's got to be more than that, right? Yeah. So you've got a business idea that we've analyzed quickly to see viable financially. We know that there is a need. And do you have the skill?
I know where to get this gear.
And is that where your salaries are?
Yeah.
Right? Where was our salaries? The salary, 16,000. Is that a reasonable salary for a highly skilled professional in this field?
So the professional that I'm looking for is someone who has not gained the professional experience yet, but he has the skills for what the platform that I am using.
Okay.
So based on that, based on the employee's performance, I was planning to increase it after 6 months.
Okay. So now pick a number. How much would you increase it to?
5,000. So 20,000 as
20,000 instead of 16. So now you have to project into that. You don't make your projection based on what it'll cost you to start if you know that in 6 months you're going to increase it. You should put the higher costs already and then see if it still makes sense. Of course, we know for 4,000 rupees a month, yes, it'll make sense. You'll still have enough profit. So you've got a good idea. You've established the need. You've established that financially it's viable. Why not do it? Okay? Then it comes to why not, meaning, do I not trust myself? Do I doubt myself? Do I really want it? Okay? So you've got to think about that. And next, once you've got your ideas and the plan is sound, project 5 years ahead. Where will you be in 5 years? In other words, will it have grown? You want a restaurant. Will you own 3 restaurants in 5 years? How many? Because if you expand and you get from 14 customers, you get 140 customers. How many employees will you have? How much do you spend on marketing? How much do you spend? You'll need an office, rent, so on. So make your projection for 5 years from now. How big will the company be? What will be the expenses? What will be the profits? Okay. So now why you need to do now a 5 years is because if I have a big goal that's further away, that's very enticing, it'll get my subconscious to be giving me more motivation, more energy. It makes it where I used to sleep only 4 hours a night, and it was great. I jump out of bed at 6, I go to sleep at 2 a.m., and I was full of energy because I had a viable plan that was exciting, okay? So this is where it changes our entire experience of life, our motivation, our joy for life, our energy overall, all right? So, very good, and I really hope you do it because this country needs it. They really need to improve their business knowledge here, or their websites, okay? Now, your cost, $267. Do you have the money? Oh, you already have it. Okay, so then there's absolutely no reason. So you've got to think about, I just got something that can take me to my goal. Why am I not doing it? Okay, that's something to ponder. Why am I not doing it? Now we get to the real core of an entrepreneur. Because the core of an entrepreneur is the personality, which is, I do anything that's great because I've got my goal. So if I have a good idea and I don't do it, why not? And that is the hole in the boat that causes the boat to slowly leak. And that boat is what average humans are, their life. And it leaks slowly, which means that you continue floating, but as you get older, you lose your spark for life. You lose your motivation for life. You just get old and tired because you're leaking slowly.
Are you old and tired?
Do I look old and tired? How old am I?
You're in your 40s.
In my 40s. 62. So do I look old and tired?
No, because you're more energetic than a 62-year-old. Yeah.
That's for sure. More than a 40-year-old too, from what I hear. Yes. Okay. So this is what I'm giving you, is this ability to stay like this for 100 years. Okay? So you've got to find out what that hole is. Why am I not moving? Do I doubt myself? Do I have, am I married and my spouse is negative and holding me back? Sorry, guys, about that. No, I'm talking to somebody else who's going to watch the recording because of the timing. So what is it that is holding me, that hole in the boat? Okay? And that hole is what separates the average person from the powerful entrepreneur. Okay? Okay, any questions so far? All right. Legal fees to set up the corporation. All right. Okay, so do you, because we're really going late, do you have to leave at 2:30? No, we're good? Okay, so we can keep going. Good, good, good. All right. So here we go for the next lesson. All right. So ethics. You know what ethics are? Morals, right? How I conduct myself, what I believe in. Who am I? That makes me who I am as a person. Okay? And that's main part of today's talk. So self-confidence is confidence in you. If I believe in myself, other people will believe in me. If I doubt myself, nobody will trust me. Okay? And everybody wants to work with you when they have confidence in you. So this is a core principle of life. If you do not have your own ethics and morals, in other words, don't take the Bible and say, these are the 10 commandments. But no, what do you believe? What are your ethics that make you proud of who you are? Okay? I know a guy, he is a thief. And he knows he is a thief. And he's very confident. And he's very happy with himself because he wanted to be a thief. A business thief. I call him a professional crook. He's in property business. And he ended up going bankrupt after I quit, but that was good. So, but he was very proud of himself because he was very good at screwing people, right? So he had great confidence. So my point is, ethics are your choice, what you believe, as long as you are proud of who you are. That is what will instill confidence. I am hoping you will be honest people, you know, and be a Gandhi, not a Hitler. But The point my job is to teach you how to be successful and what personality traits are necessary without giving you my opinion of what's right or wrong, right? So for you to find like when I was a Zen monk in Japan, one of the monks I met, he asked me, he says, why do you want to be a Zen monk? Why do you want to be a monk? And we talked a bit, and he said, you know what? You must climb your mountain. Don't climb anyone else's mountain. Climb your mountain. Find what matters to you. All right? So that's what I want to give you. You must find you. Remember, you're not really you, right? So you got to find you. Okay? One example from Andy is the sound recordist who's coming here. He'll be here for the last 1 or 2 sessions. The quality of his service is what made him so successful. He took the ethic of, I will deliver the best quality of service. And that's why he made 5 times more than anybody else in New Zealand, because New Zealanders don't give a shit about quality. They have no concept of good service, quality service. They just do what they want to get the money. But he focused on quality of honoring his word, making sure everything was right. And he got 5 times more business than anybody else in his industry, right? So that's why when you believe in yourself, they come to you. So that's what I wanted to say there. And then yes, this example. I wanted to buy a projector here. And it was on the website, and it had the price on the website. And I wanted to buy it, and then they said, no, the price is this. I said, yeah, but it's published on your website. How come you're charging me more? Well, this is the new price. I said, but it's published online on your website. You must honor it. Oh, no, that's an old website. We're not going to honor it. Do you think I go back to that company? No way. They don't honor their word. You must honor your word. If you said it, it doesn't matter if you lose money. You must honor your word. And that is how you feel stupid. You lost money, but people trust you. And then you see this goes both ways. Confidence in you will give you self-confidence. If you have self-confidence in yourself, people will trust you. If people trust you, you will have better self-confidence. It goes both ways. So when you say a price and you lose money because you have to honor a mistake you made, their confidence in you will compensate for you feeling like, how stupid could I be to make that mistake? And then you grow from there, okay? So that's important. That's something that bothers me when people, publish a price and don't want to honor it. So I had to talk about that. All right, now from last week, remember we talked about manipulation. Did you do that exercise? 3 examples of manipulation? Yeah, can we hear any of your examples? What was the situation? What'd they say? How did you know it's a lie, and what is the truth?
Well, one example I can think is, some churches, not the normal churches, but the sect.
Like somebody starts his own church, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that can be really manipulation.
Okay, but do you have any where you can see that someone is manipulating people or how they're doing it? Where is their lie?
Yeah, a lie would be, give me 10% of whatever you earn, but God never asks for a dime. So even the kids are giving. So that to me is not ethical.
I always say, Swami Anandananda, that if you give me all of your money, I guarantee that after you die, you will become enlightened. And if not, come back, I give you your money back.
I never come back.
But you never come back. There's the lie. After you die, which we cannot prove. Okay? So, therefore we see the lie, we know the truth. Questionable. All right? So if somebody says, I am enlightened, like there was one, this is a true story, an American, he's a spiritual teacher, and he makes people give him money every month. I worked it out based on just what I saw. His income was over 10 million a year, US dollars. And one of his devotees tried to get me to follow and gave me one of his recordings. And he said, every penny you give me, I don't get 1 penny of it. Every penny goes to pay off your karma. It all goes to pay your karma. What, does karma have a bank account? Right? So, the situation, you've got someone being a church, professing he's enlightened. He said, I'm going to help you become enlightened, pay off your karma. How do I know it's a lie? Karma doesn't have a bank account. Where does the money actually go? The truth, he has a $20 million mansion in California and a private jet.
I'm not saying the real church.
Yeah. Oh, is it? The Pope tells Filipinos to give me 10% of your money. And the Filipinos give him 10% of their money. Or whatever it is. They're giving to the church every week, and yet they have no money for food.
Really?
Yeah. Have you ever been to Philippines? The massive poverty, Philippines, South America, they're all Catholics. They all give to the church, but they don't have a home, they don't have money for food, they don't have money for education. And the church says, God will take care of you if you give us money. But yet their whole countries are starving in poverty. Doesn't seem right, does it? Where's the truth? How do you know it's a lie? The evidence. Decades, centuries of promises. But the evidence shows those promises are not fulfilled. Okay? So you see, we got to look for things. All right? Any other ideas or examples of manipulation you found?
Yes, I was at the market the other day. They were selling potatoes. But when someone, you get the basket, you put the potatoes in. When you give it to the seller, you put it in the bag. The seller was replacing the potatoes with smaller one. So you don't get the price that he paid. Get less than this. So it was a form of manipulation.
That's cheating. Now, if you said, hey, you're not giving me what I'm paying for, what does he say to convince you to accept it? That's the manipulation. You saw him cheating. Now you say, hey, you're cheating. And he says, no, I didn't. This is actually the same one, or I gave you an extra one, or these are better, and try to convince you to accept. That's the manipulation we're trying to see. Okay? So when someone tries to convince you to accept being cheated, but if he didn't say anything, and you didn't say anything, then he just cheated you. And you're stupid because you accepted it. So we should never accept it. We've got to be a lion. The lion says, hey, put the right thing in the bag or I'll bite your hand off. Stand up for your rights. Okay?
Another one that I experienced this week was with my car's AC. So the thing is, my AC was spending a little dry air. It had a little smell in it. I went to the mechanic. He told me all I had to do was to change the filter. I asked him how much would he charge. He told me it was 1,000 rupees. Then he took out the filter. I said, okay, show me the filter first. He took out the filter, but the filter had just replaced a couple of months ago, and it was during winter, so I did not use the AC. The filter was still clear. So when I saw that the filter was still clear, he still tried to sell me a new filter. So that was a form of cheating or manipulation or something. Then when I Googled it, they said it was very simple to just remove the smell. It was just, you need to take a spray bottle, put some alcohol in it and spray it in the vents, and now
Okay.
the smell's gone.
So he was cheating you, trying to sell you something you didn't need. That's not manipulating you into accepting it. Where did he manipulate you to accept what he was selling?
It was when he was trying to sell me the filter that he tried to manipulate me.
Right.
I was saying, oh, this filter is old, it's off mark, off brand or something. This filter that I have, it's new. It's this mark, it's this brand, it's better, it's more polished or whatever. He
Okay.
told me.
So his sales pitch was manipulating you to buy something you didn't need. Okay? So that's why, again, we need to become a lion. We don't let people sell us something if you have doubt. So if he oversold himself, pushing like, oh, but this is much better and yours is no good and this happens every day or whatever it is, you have to say, why is he pushing so hard? Okay, so we question when someone is trying to sell us something. There's an old Latin saying, thou protesteth too much. You protest too much. If he pushes too much, then there's something wrong. Okay, so did you buy the filter?
No.
Good. Did you tell him, no, I don't trust you, or you just quietly?
I said, I'll come again later. That's what all
Perfect.
Muslims do.
Okay, well, yeah. But that's good. So you saw he was pushing the sale, you didn't trust him, and you saved yourself 1,000 rupees.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So that's it. So you see how subtle manipulation can be in many different places. It can be in the name of God. It can be selling an air filter. All right. Or it can be cheating you on potatoes. All right. So we've got to look at all these things, watch where people are cheating and say, no, I'm sorry. I'm a lion. I'm not a sheep. And I'm not going to accept that.
Also, when I was looking at your TikTok videos before coming to the course, there was someone told you something and you said, okay, don't come, there's no need for you to come to the course or something like that. Then I saw that you were not trying to oversell. That's what told me to try the course. It will be worth it. Because most of the, on the internet, I see so many internet gurus, so many of them are fake. Most of them will try to sell you, take this, and you will make money. When I saw your way of teaching and talking and all, I saw that you were not overselling. You were trying to like enlighten people, like the way that I saw it. There was like, okay, if you don't want to learn, don't come. It's simple.
Yeah, because, yeah, I'm not in a business. Teaching is not my source of income.
Yeah.
So that's it. Always remember, what will they profit from your loss? Take my course, take my course, take my course. I will profit. What can you lose? Your money and your time. So that's what you always have to question. What will someone profit if I lose? Where is it that they don't profit, but I gain? Or if we both gain? But where is the risk on someone making at someone's loss? And it's always you who will lose. So that's what we always have to question about everything. When the potatoes are too cheap, this seller is selling for 100 rupees a kilo instead of everyone else at 200 rupees a kilo. Wow, great deal. I should just buy from him. Yes, but why is he selling it half the price of everyone else? Look for where the catch is, okay? So I'm basically teaching you to be distrustful. You have to be in this world. When it comes to business and money, when it's business and money, always have to be distrustful. Question. Now, this isn't about money. That, negative, pessimistic, whatever you want to call it, is, I'm not concerned with it in application of money. What it is to make you think, okay? Your brain is a muscle, and if you don't use it, it gets weaker over time. So we need to use our mind and think, our brain, as much as possible, because our world makes it too easy to survive and thrive without thinking. Google. Whatever you want to know, Google. I don't have to think. Google. Oh, it's on the internet. Okay. I don't need to look deeper. Okay? So the world is leading you to stop thinking. So by distrusting Not saying, I know you're a thief, but simply, I don't know, let me check. Let me check for myself. By doing that for everything, it will benefit you financially. You won't be cheated, you won't lose as much, you'll make more, but it exercises your mind so that it stays sharp and continues to grow for as long as you do that, which hopefully is the rest of your life. Okay? So the most important thing is exercising your mind to stay sharp and young. And we do that by using reality. And reality is when there's money on the table and it's in business, everybody wants to grab that money. That's reality. So you've got to have, it's a useful place to be doubting. It's a practical place to be doubting. Okay? All right, so let's go. Now, oh, wait, before I show you the next slide. Manipulation means making someone do what you want, right? That's what manipulation is. Now, in that definition, it's neither good nor bad. It's just making someone do what you want. Now, when a little child needs to take a medicine, I don't know what you guys do here, but in Canada, the mother will crush the pill and put it in a spoonful of jam and say, will you take a pill? No, I won't take a pill. Will you have some jam? Yeah, I love jam. All right? So you manipulate. Parents' greatest or most prolific activity is manipulating their children. It was really funny. Again, in New Zealand, I was out for a walk one day in the middle of the day, and there's this mother talking to her little kid, and she's saying, eat. And no, I don't like it. Yes, you do. I do? Yes, you love this. Oh, okay, I love it. And that was it. She manipulated him to convince him that he loved it, and then he ate it. So manipulation can be for good. And you need to manipulate your employees. And you need to manipulate your clients and your suppliers and the bank to lend you money. Everything in life is manipulating. We are manipulating people all the time. And that's an exercise for you to watch. And that's why I wanted you to get 3 examples of manipulation. But look deeper. Look at every conversation you have with anyone. Are they trying to get you to think something, to do something? This is a constant thing that's going on, and you must be aware of it to become a lion. But also to become, and I'm hoping you'll be more of a Gandhi than a Hitler, but to be more in control of your life, is to realize how everyone is just manipulating. Every advertisement you see is a manipulation. So look how they're doing it to you, and then start to watch how you're doing it to everybody else. Watch how you are manipulating. When you don't think you're manipulating, but you are. All right? So start to watch for that. How am I trying to get this person to do what I want? How are they trying to get me to do what they want? So the reason you didn't see many examples of manipulation because you saw it as a negative thing. Because I presented it that way. I manipulated you into looking for manipulation as a bad thing. So you didn't say, oh yeah, I really, whatever, I was going to dress like an idiot and my mother manipulated me to dress more conservatively so I didn't look stupid at the party. I don't know, I get these ideas come to my head, all right? So you didn't think of someone manipulated you for your benefit, because I manipulated you to make you only look for a negative. So that today I could show you, see, how subtle manipulation is. The teacher is always manipulating the student by telling you what to learn, what to look for, what exercises to do. Hopefully the teacher gets you to do good things. What?
The one who manipulates, sorry for cutting, I would say it's a mentor.
It's a what?
It's a mentor.
Mentor? Well, it's everybody. It's a parent, it's a child. Children are constantly manipulating parents by crying. You know, every time a child cries, they're manipulating the parent to give them what they want. So you know how to manipulate without even knowing you know it. But you need to understand that and see how everything is just one person manipulating another. And once you really can see it everywhere, you become immune to it to a degree, and you become the master of it, and that's how you get to succeed. I manipulated my employees to be loyal and hardworking by offering them a bonus if they achieved a certain sales. I just got you to be honest and to work harder, because if we produce 200 rolls of film, for example, in a day, you get a $100 bonus today. So of course they're going to work harder to finish those rolls of film before the end of the day, instead of work slower, because whether I do it or I don't, I still get my salary. So I manipulate them to work harder by giving them an incentive. It's manipulation. Okay? So become a master at manipulation. The master of manipulation is someone who knows the right way to manipulate everybody in every situation to get what they want. Okay? So just so you realize, manipulation, like everything, nuclear power, right? Einstein thought he invented or discovered something brilliant with discovering how to use nuclear energy, except it became a bomb. When he saw the bomb, he said, if I knew what my discovery would lead to, I would have rather been a plumber. Right? He didn't know. But everything can go both ways. So that's another important lesson about manipulate for good, manipulate in either way. Everything can be either way. You just have to watch. And this is what I'm trying to give you in this course, the mind that can see. All right. Questions about that? Cool? All right. So this we just did at the beginning. All right. Do you have the number? How much is rich to you? Did you do that exercise? All right. So did it change what you originally thought? Like once you do the amortization, okay, I guess your numbers are a little private, so you don't have to share it. But I just want to make sure if you have any questions, or you then refined and you now do have your lump sum you need and your monthly income. All right?
My monthly passive income exceeds my business projects that I have, like way more than I think I am able to make with the few projects that I have now.
So we have two choices. Lower your monthly income or do different businesses.
Yeah.
There's two choices. Choose one, or a little bit of both, you know. Is your monthly income reasonable? What did you base how much you want per month on?
Actually, the last question is how many
Years do you expect to live? Yeah.
To be honest, I don't want to live above 40.
Well, that's good because you can always kill yourself when you turn 40.
Okay,
It's nice to have that control over your life,
I
but
want to live a life where I'm disease-free. As soon as I have something which is...
yeah, but some people live till like 100 without disease.
If I live till 100, that is, it's better. But I expect me to live till 40. My lifespan for me is till 40.
Okay.
So everything I have to do is till 40. Above 40, there's nothing for me to do.
I'll tell you about a friend of mine who's now 87. Everyone in his family died at early 50s. So when he was younger, he built his business, he built his life based on living until about 50, 55, because everyone died at that age. Now he's 85. He said, I'm starting to run out of money. I didn't expect to live this long. But he's in perfect health, perfect energy. His wife passed away a couple of years ago after like 65 years of marriage, and he's now got this wonderful woman, and he's in another relationship. They're traveling around the world, and he's having an amazing life. And he's 85, but he thought he'd die by about 50. So you can think that, but you might be surprised, and you might have a much longer life.
Yeah, but I still have the lump sum by then I could like use the lump sum till I die.
Look, we never know when we're going to die, all right? But meanwhile, let's live while we're alive, have a goal. So if you want to figure out your finances until 40, then you can do that too. That's entirely your choice. Right now, this exercise is to give you your financial goal. And if you are at 40 and you're in perfect health, you're still young enough to extend for another 40. So you can deal with it then. But this exercise is basically, if you want to say till 40, how old are you now?
24.
Okay, so you've got 16 years to amortize your lump sum to see how much money you need to give you that monthly income. So that's fine. You can put that as your lump sum and whatever you want per month, right? And if your business plans now don't meet making that much, change your business ideas. That's it. This is just to give us a target, a goal, so that we can move forward every day, okay? All right, so we all have you have your numbers, so you're clear, more focused. So do this exercise again in 6 months and see if the numbers are the same, because it may change. Once you progress on the work, your values, your ideas, your needs may change. Either way, could get higher, could get lower, all right? But just put a note in your calendar in 6 months, how much is rich to you? Try to determine your lump sum and your monthly income, okay? In 6 months. And then if you like, send me a message to tell me if it's changed or not. Because I found that people almost always have initially set a very high amount of money, and 6 months to a year, that has reduced significantly because they realized that that wasn't necessary, and it's more important to enjoy life than just make more money, okay? So that you have a better quality of life. All right, so that's all the reviewing and the business number stuff. Now we're going to get to the actual ethics and morals and so on to make you really proud of who you are. That gives you the power to be a lion. Okay? When you have a great feeling of self-worth, self-confidence, you will not let the guy cheat you on potatoes. You will not let people take advantage because you'll respect yourself, and then you will demand, not like I demand you do this, but whenever you're being cheated, you will be able to not let them cheat you because you're worth more and you know it. Okay? That's what's important. You have to know that you are valuable. Okay? You know Confucius, old Chinese philosopher, all right?
It's our grandfather.
Sorry? Which what?
It's our grandfather. I'm only joking.
Oh, your grandfather, yes. Well, yeah, same. You never know. Could be. Do not strive to be respected. Rather, strive to be worthy of respect. That's what he said. I added, then you will respect yourself. Okay? I put that last line in, I think. Anyway, so that's very important. Now, you're young, so you're not out there demanding. But when you're a parent, parents generally say, you will respect me because I'm your mother, I'm your father, right? Grandparents, they all say, because I'm older, you will respect me. My attitude is, no. Do you deserve respect? Just being old doesn't earn respect. Okay? So you've got to start now to be worthy of respect. Now, when you're worthy of respect, it also changes how people deal with you. They won't try to cheat you. If they respect you, they'll treat you very differently. All right? So just a little note about the concept of respect is that you must be worthy of it. Earn it. Okay? So if you make any mistakes anywhere, whether it's at work, at home, or whatever, with your friends. Any mistake you make that causes another person a loss, time, a thing, money, whatever it is, you must fix it. No matter what it costs you, assuming it's feasible, but you've got to fix it. You've got to make up for that. Now, when you fix all your mistakes, you are worthy of respect. But when you cause damage to someone in any way, and you don't take the responsibility to fix it, you are not worthy of respect. You're not a worthy person.
Does this apply to businesses as well?
Well, if you made a mistake, yes. If you are doing a service for somebody, okay, you build a website and the website doesn't work. You don't say, hey, well, no, sorry, I delivered it, it's not my problem. You make sure it works. You don't charge more money to make it work. If you had, let's say, a fixed fee, you don't charge more money. Look, I said this much money, I give you a good website, you have to deliver it no matter how much time it takes.
But if it's a product,
Yeah?
like for example a restaurant, like
Yeah.
if the food costs, I don't know, 5,000 rupees, the customer is not satisfied with the meat, it's not, he wanted it like a medium rare,
Yeah.
but well done, and but the meat is
You make it again for free.
taken
Yes,
for free.
absolutely. You must make it again for free. You must deliver the quality you said you would deliver. Now, if you said, I have a restaurant, you order, and I'm telling you, you're going to get what I give you. I don't care what you order. I'm going to just give you what I have. That's another story. But that's not the assumption when you go to a restaurant. You assume you're going to get something you like. As the restaurant owner, the purpose of a restaurant is for people to go and get food they like. So the whole basic concept, it's unsaid, but it's obvious. The restaurant is there to provide food that the client likes, because that's why they're coming to the restaurant.
But in Mauritius, there's many restaurants that offer like. Have you been to KFC Mauritius?
I've been to KFC, but
Have you tried the chicken there?
well, it's the same all over the world.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because when I've been to Malaysia, the chicken was a little thicker.
Yeah, you're going to get slight differences, yes.
But here in Mauritius, there's so many times when I've seen the chicken is more like this. Just there's a thick bone, there's small meat,
Yeah.
and a lot of people complain about it, but they still make the profit.
Okay, well, that's another story. I mean, I didn't know about that. But if it is not good, then you have a choice as a customer not to go back and to say, no, that's not a good company. I won't go there again, right? Now, if KFC is a bit big, but if it's an individual person who owns the restaurant, if enough people say that, you're out of business.
Yeah. It's for small restaurants.
I'm talking about, yeah, us, small businesses, right? If you want to build up. Now, if you have the restaurant and I say, I don't like this, and you know it's still good, but I don't like it, and you, no problem, let me give you another one. What am I going to tell everybody? This guy is great. I didn't like it, and he just gave me another one for free right away, no argument.
You learn twice the number of customers.
Yep. So you do have to take a loss to make many other gains, okay? Respect everything you do. You will be respected. People will trust you. They will come to you. And what you want is other restaurants to deliver bad products, because that means they get the bad reputation, which brings their customers to you. So that's why if you do that great service and other people don't, you're very happy because you get all their business. Okay? So make sure every mistake you fix it immediately. Like, take this idea. Customer complains. As soon as they say something that's no good, before they even say more, it's clearly a complaint. You say, excuse me, let's be clear. You are right and I am wrong. Now tell me how to fix it. Okay? You just cut them off and say something like that. let's be clear. You are right, I am wrong. Tell me how to fix it. And they go, wow, what a nice attitude. And that's how you build your business. You build your reputation. And they're like the confidence. They will respect you. And the more people that respect you, when you know you deserve it, makes you proud of who you are. Gives you confidence.
But let me ask you about a situation like, for example, a car wash. I have employed someone to do the car wash and they scratch the paint. Should I fix the paint because that's going to cost me a lot, or should I just put something to just...
No, you have to fix it properly, because everyone who works for you is you. They behave based on you training them. If they do a bad job, it's your fault for either not training them well or picking the wrong person and keeping him. So whatever your employees do, it's your fault. And you've got to fix it to the satisfaction of the person you've harmed.
But that's going to cost me a lot because...
Yep, that's right. That's why you have to be very careful at your job. So this makes you do a better job. It makes you more present, more aware, more careful.
But the outcome is not going to be that... it's not going to be a big difference in outcome because the customer would still be not very happy.
That's right. But that, like I said, knowing you will do that makes you be more careful doing it yourself or who you hire to work for you. The whole idea is punishment. The threat of punishment makes the person be more aware. So that's what we're trying to do. Make sure, because if I know I'm going to repaint the whole car, if I scratch it, I'm going to be very careful not to repaint it, not to scratch it, excuse me, right? Now, when I'm really careful not to cause damage, it also means I'm very attentive at doing a good job, which means my work is better than other people's, which means the customer will say, he does a much better job than the other guy, which means more customers. Okay? So that's why I use that as my own personal punishment so that I and my employees will have to be doing the best job anywhere. Okay? Manipulation. You manipulate yourself to be better by putting a threat of punishment against you. Manipulating. Okay? All right, let's move on. Now, everything happens for a reason. You all heard that, right? And it's usually meant as an excuse so that you can accept something that goes wrong by saying, oh, it happened for a reason, as if the universe is doing something better for you. But it's just an excuse to accept failure and avoid responsibility by putting the responsibility on the universe. When you say everything happens for a reason, the universe knows best, I'm saying it's the universe's fault. Not me. I didn't do it. The universe did it. All right? So if you give up your power and make excuses for your failure, you'll never feel good about yourself. All right? You've got to take the responsibility. And again, how do you respect somebody who avoids responsibility? So when someone says, oh, it's God's will, not my fault that I scratched your car. You scratched my car. It's God's will. Everything happens for a reason. It's okay. Yeah, but you did that. And you know you did that. When you put the excuse, the blame on something like the universe, you know that you're avoiding responsibility. Okay? So think of things like that. If you do not make up for what you did wrong by using a greater universal excuse, can you really respect yourself? Right? So yes, everything happens for a reason. Obviously, if I drop something, it fell on the floor and broke. The reason is gravity. Yeah, there's a reason. Gravity. The second reason is I'm clumsy. I'm careless. Right? So yeah, everything happens for a reason. But don't let it stop at being an excuse to avoid responsibility. Okay? We've got to take responsibility for everything. And now this is just one of many New Agey spiritual sayings. I want you to start looking for these sort of things where we put the blame or the onus on the universe or on, oh, it's not my fault, I'm only human. How many times do people say that? Well, I'm only human, what do you expect? Yeah. So then you're only human, so you're a cow or a sheep, I can cut your head off, slaughter you, sell you off for meat and eat you. You're only an animal. But then you say, no, I'm human. You can't treat me like an animal. But wait, you just said, well, I'm only human. You see how we play games? We use excuses when it helps us avoid responsibility. But then, oh, we turn it around when we say, no, treat me better or something like that. Okay? So look for things like everything happens for a reason. Well, I'm only human. Oh, well, what can I do? It's my culture. Oh, it's the government's fault. Oh, the rain. It's raining too much. I can't come to class. Look for excuses you make that are commonly accepted as acceptable excuses. And then say, do I just want to be another average or do I want to be better? Okay? All right? So, yeah, everything happens for a reason is a big scam of an excuse. So anytime someone says, everything happens for a reason, whenever you hear someone say that, say, yeah, what's the reason? Give me the reason. So it's kind of a fun game that you can play. I assume you've all heard people say this, everything happens for a reason. Have you? I mean, you hear it? Okay. So next time you hear it, every time you hear it, say, yeah, what's the reason? Tell me the reason. I know gravity works. I know old age. I know what pollution will do. I know what smoking will do. I know what drinking too much alcohol will do. So when you have a car accident because you were drunk, everything happened for a reason. The reason is you're stupid. You got drunk and driving. Okay, what's the reason? Push for that answer. It's really fun. Okay? All right, now.
I have once my mom told me that everything happens for a reason. I continued on with her discussion, which she was saying but the things that they come up with is like.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I know, it's all bullshit. But that's the point. Yeah. You're trying to become a lion who cannot be manipulated, who does not accept any just ridiculous answer to avoid responsibility. So if you want to become that strong person, you've got to start to see and point out and demand, don't just give me these ridiculous answers. Back it up with some evidence, some facts, some explanation. All right? There comes a point where you have to let it go. Because anytime someone uses that excuse, it's because they don't know or they don't want to admit it. So that's why I say it's fun. You push as far as you can, so at least you're doing some thinking. All right? Let's keep going. Now, you know these signs? It's all over the world. It's shocked me. Why do now big companies need to put so many signs saying we don't accept people verbally abusing our staff? Right? This is super common now.
There's penalty, high penalty.
Yeah, but no, the point is, why do we need to do that? Because people are getting so frustrated and abusing, right? And screaming and cursing, right? This is in retaliation to people's behavior. So why do people get so frustrated? Because you're so dumb. Because you're not doing your job. Because you're making me crazy. You're not giving me the service I need. Right? So if you do not need to have a sign like this in your company because your customers are so happy, because you take responsibility and fix everything whenever they're not happy. I'm sure that if I had a choice to go to two companies providing the same service where one of them needs a sign like that because their customers get so angry, and another one doesn't need it because their customers are all happy, I know which company I would choose, right? So the point of this is you can learn what to do by seeing what's happening. If this is now an international concept, that's all over the world, especially government offices, banks, big companies, then we know where things are going wrong and where I can differentiate myself, where people will want to come to me because we already know all their customers are pissed off. Any company that has to have a sign like this tells you our customers hate us and we frustrate them so much that we've got to tell them don't get angry. So it tells me, yeah, I know their system is bad. Customers are angry. Okay? So you see how you can see the cause of the cause of the cause. What causes that to happen? All right? And then it tells you how you can be better. All right? So let me just see where we'll go here. How many more do we have? Quite a few. Okay. Let's see here. This one is very important. You're doing a business deal. You make an agreement, a contract. I will do this and you will do that, right? Two sides of the contract. The other party does not do what they said. Do you still honor your side? Question. What do you do? Do you still honor your side of the agreement if they don't honor theirs? Even if it's just a small part of the agreement or whatever. You would say yes? I'll let you all give your answer first before going into it.
Yep.
You'd say no?
Depends on how you assess their performance.
You want to, like an answer that's not an answer, huh?
No, sometimes there are contracts to which you have to perform completely, but there's also other contracts which allow substantial performance.
Okay, let's just say any agreement. Any agreement that's, yeah. You do this if I do this, you do this and I do this. If he doesn't do that, do you do that?
Nobody do.
I'll say no.
You'd say no. Good. Okay, only one yes. Normally people are saying yes, and I say why? Why would you say yes?
Me, I'm a broker. Even whatever falls around me, my word is my bond. I have to do my part.
But they cheated. They didn't do their part.
Yeah, but then if it's material, depends how material it is. Otherwise, I will say to myself, no, this is not material. I still do mine and I get finished.
Okay. If somebody doesn't keep their side of an agreement, you should not keep yours. You do not have to keep yours. Okay? A lot of people said, I've asked here this question, and they said, yes, I will do my side. Why? To show I'm a better person. To show that I am better, I have integrity, I honor my word. But what that means is they are taking advantage of me. They're not doing what they said, but they're still going to take my money. They're still going to use me, and I'm letting them use me. I am letting somebody cheat me.
But it can be time as well.
Whatever it is, if it's somebody's going to do something, and if they do, you do, they don't do it, you shouldn't do it, because you're allowing yourself to be cheated. But you have to think of it that way. Said, I'm sorry, I deserve respect. I respect myself. If you're not going to honor your side of the agreement, I am not going to honor mine. All right, you must stand up for yourself in that. I'm surprised 3 of you said no, because so far everyone I've asked has always said, yes, I would. So you changed my plan of how I would present this. But you have to be watching things. If people don't honor their side of the agreement, you've got to really, and you know, if you're going to honor your side, you've got to wonder why. What are you going to gain from it? But you should really stand up for either not doing your side or telling them, this is the agreement, you must honor your side for me to honor mine. Okay? It's just a question of really standing up for your rights, for your respecting yourself. Okay, so this just accepting responsibility. We've kind of talked about that one already. If you make a mistake, you have to make up for it. It's the same thing. If you make an agreement and someone doesn't honor their side, then they're making a mistake, right? So therefore, they're not accepting responsibility for what they have agreed to do. Now you can say, oh, but that means I'm not accepting responsibility for what I've agreed to do. So this is one of the exceptions to the law. You accept responsibility when you gave your word. But if your word is connected to someone else's word and they don't keep it, then you don't have to. Okay? So it goes back to manipulation. There's good and bad. Everything has two sides. That's why I'm bringing this up again. Every single thing, every ethic, every moral, every action has two sides to it. So that's why learning to think, right, questioning everything, is so important, because you've got to get your mind to be so creative, so curious, so thinking, that in every situation you can say, he didn't keep his word, therefore I don't. But I have to honor my word. What do I do in this situation? And you analyze the whole picture, and then you have a response that is appropriate to that situation. Okay? That's an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur adapts, does not keep fixed rules. The rules are not made with concrete walls, they're made with rubber walls. So I can bend the rules depending on the situation, okay? And you have to consider all your emotional reactions. So if they don't keep their side and you get angry, is it your ego that's fighting back? So you've got to watch for emotional reactions and make sure that you are calm in every situation, looking at it objectively. Okay? So you don't want to, have emotional reactions. I think that doesn't matter about bringing examples for when you're justified. It's just that it's already 2:45, so I'm kind of running out of time. Now, this one, very important one, pay your debts, okay? Unpaid debts create guilt. Guilt usually requires excuses to ignore your feeling of guilt, okay? So debts are not just money, obviously money, but debts are, in this sense, anything you got that you owe a gratitude for. Who taught you to tie your shoelaces? Who taught you to count, to do basic math? You didn't figure those things out on your own. Walking, yes, you figured out on your own. Tying your shoelaces, no. Who taught you anything? Who gave you anything? These debts are there deep in the subconscious. Okay, maybe not tying your shoelaces, but my point is, you have a lot of debts. You've received knowledge, you've received guidance, you've received help in some way. Have you paid that debt? And very often, payment of that debt is showing gratitude. A letter, a flower, a candy bar, a thank you, a sincere thank you. Okay? So now this is an extremely important exercise to clear a lot of subtle guilt feelings of obligation that are in your subconscious. So what you need to do in this exercise is you list all your debts, which is things like who taught me to count? Who taught me how to tie my shoes? Everything you know that came from somebody else taking the time to teach you, that was not a course that you paid money for. You've paid your debt to me. You paid your fee. Okay? But how many things did you get that you didn't give anything back for? All right? So you make this list as long as it can be and who it is, and then make sure you say thank you. Thank whoever taught you to tie your shoes. Thank your teachers. Thank anybody, everybody for every little thing you have. Okay? You will be amazed. It takes you quite some time to remember everything and to thank people, but you will be amazed how that changes your feelings deep inside. You just start to feel a little more lighter, a little more positive. Okay? Now, one student in New Zealand, she was an Indian from Fiji, but living in Auckland. She did this and she said, you know, there was one thing my auntie did for me 10 years ago, and I never said thank you, but I don't know where she is. I don't know how to contact her. I said, that's fine. You just write a thank you note and just put it in your drawer or something like that. But, you know, say the thank you, write the note. Okay, she did. In the next class, the next week, she says, you're not going to believe what happened. What happened? She said, that auntie? She said, she's found me on Facebook and sent a message because she's coming to New Zealand for a holiday and she wants to see me. Amazing. So she could give her the thanks in person. All right? Amazing what little things happen when we put our thoughts and our actions and our real intention and really sincerely want something to happen. It's really good. And then it helps you feel much better about yourself. But this is one of the subtle exercises that you don't see a difference for weeks or months. Okay? But it's very important. List all your debts, anything you can think of, and send a note just to say thank you. All right? All right. And then let's just get moving here, and that's the last one, right? Okay. So last one I'll talk about now is create something of beauty every day. All right? Art, music, a poem, a garden, cleaning your house if your house is normally messy. Anything that you create that is beautiful. Every day, try to do something. Now, let's say you want to make a big sculpture. You can't finish it in a day, but you work a little bit on it, okay? So if whatever you want to make is a big thing, just work a little bit every day. Every day, create something of beauty. Now, if you have absolutely no skills whatsoever, a smile is more beautiful than a frown. So make someone smile every day. All right? Make people laugh every day. Somebody, somewhere. You know, and it's actually really easy because every restaurant, everywhere you go that there's somebody working at, you know, in a bank or the security guard. I mean, I did that yesterday. We were walking somewhere and there's the security guard sitting in his booth. And I just stopped and had a little conversation with him. And it made him so happy. Okay? So a smile is a thing of beauty. Right? But you must know every day you create something of beauty. If it cannot be a physical thing, if you're not a musician or an artist or whatever it is, I mean, for a car mechanic, you can make a beautiful engine. Right? It doesn't have to be what the whole world would see as beautiful, but what you find beautiful. All right? And if you can't do that in any other sense, make sure at least every day somebody that you see who is not happy, some sad, long face, make them smile. Make them feel good for a moment. Make them feel valuable, acknowledged. All right? But do it intentionally. Make sure you really want to, not just randomly, I said something and they laughed. No, you have to target somebody who looks miserable. or you know has a miserable job. Okay? All right. That was long because we took a long start and a bit late. But that's very important. When you do nothing in the world except eat the food, you know you're not worthy of being here because you're not adding anything. But when you make sure every day you have added a little bit of beauty to this world, it makes you feel more worthy. All right? Now, if you want to succeed in business, in the world, in life, you want to feel that, or you want to succeed, your subconscious needs to know you deserve it. You're worthy of this success. You set your financial target and you say, yeah, but my business would never make that much money. Well, then, am I really worthy of making that much money? Right now, what you've said is you want 100,000 rupees and your business idea can only make 10. And that's the only idea you came up with. So what did you say is that I don't think I'm worthy of 100,000. I'd like it, but I cannot come up with a way to make it. Why can my mind not create a way to make that much? Because my mind doesn't believe I'm worth it. I'm not worthy of it. So we need to live a life where our mind, our subconscious says, I am worthy of whatever your goal is. And one of the ways is to, well, everything I'm showing you. First, I'm worthy because I pay all my debts. I don't have any debts. I am guilt-free. The other way is I am adding. So we remove that which is negative, the guilt. And the second is we add to say, I am adding. I am making this world better in some way for other people to smile, to enjoy. I am worthy of success because I'm contributing and I am not taking without appreciation. Okay? And I know, I mean, this isn't financial about a business, but the entrepreneur, it's not a business person. The entrepreneur is enterprising, creative person. And we create businesses that create jobs, that creates money. All right? So good enough for that? Okay? And that's where the business comes later. So you see with your business ideas, they were either a good idea, but I'm doing nothing about it, or too small, never going to get anywhere. So you see that's because of the mind. We need to change that mind to be worthy of a bigger one. So rethink your business ideas. I mean, yours is good, so get to work on it. And you guys, the rest of you, rethink it. Come up with a bigger, better plan. All right? So that by the end of this course, you've actually got something running. That's the goal. The goal is to get you by the end of this course to have a business running, whatever it may be. But we want to pick a good one. All right? So for next time, come up with better business ideas or extend your plan to 3 restaurants or 5 restaurants in 3 years. How you're going to do it. Okay? If you're going to stick with restaurant. All right? And you pick up bigger things. Okay? Good enough? Any other questions? No? All right, cool. See you next week. Hopefully it stopped raining.